Hey folks, Bill Gallagher here. We're gonna try something a little bit crazy. For my pod, I think Rest in Peace will probably be a very well-positioned card, so I wanted to play something that had four of them in the main deck. And rather than brew up some terrible Soldier Stompy White Eldrazi deck that shoved a bunch of Rest in Pieces in there, I thought I should try something a little bit more reasonable. So this is a Rest in Peace Energy Field combo. The idea being that Energy Field reads prevent all damage that would be dealt to you by sources you don't control. When a card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, sacrifice Energy Field. But if you have Rest in Peace in play, nothing ever goes to your graveyard, and ta-da! You've gone and done it. You've set up a very good combo. So this is essentially just a lockout deck. We look a lot like Miracles, but we're really a combo deck. We're trying to assemble Rest in Peace Energy Field, and most people can't go and beat that, at least in Game 1 scenarios. So that's the dream. So we have Brainstorm, Ponder, Preordain, Impulse, and Enlighten Tutor to go and find these. Note that a lot of things like our removal and interaction are really in the sideboard. We also have Keranos, which is one of my favorite Magic cards of all time. So when I saw this deck list, I absolutely could not resist giving it a try. Plus, who's gonna expect me to play a deck with cantrips in it? Honestly, no one would. No one would. They also wouldn't expect the Spanish Inquisition, but too deep. Too deep. We're coming off of testing a red token deck. I got a 4-1 with that, although I think my D&T player in the last round probably punted their match away. So realistically, maybe that one should have been a 3-2. Alright, we've won the die roll. Mountain and all these things. Nope, we're going to ship this one away. So that's how we're starting off this league, huh? I mean, we have Rest in Peace and Energy Field in hand. Can't ask for too much more. I think if this is the way that we're winning, I'm just going to ship away my Mentor. And I think I'd rather have 3 lands than an Impulse for selection. Really glad I didn't just F6 through my turn. I really hope I don't get punished for not fetching on turn 1. My hand's so much worse if this Rest in Peace gets countered. Alright. So now we are on a Monastery Mentor plan. It's a little difficult to tell what my opponent is on at this time, but given that they countered the Rest in Peace, it kind of feels like Grixis. But I think I'm just at the point where I need to jam the cards that I have. I'm not winning this game via attrition as of right now. And I don't have a cantrip in hand that could reward me for waiting another turn here. So I think I just need to walk this into a Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt. My opponent also could just be on something like Blue-Red Delver. Not anymore, but they could have been. What about this Mentor? Am I willing to wait on this one? Again, I kind of feel like the answer is no, and I just need to jam. So many of my things cost 2 as well. Well, that's not something I was expecting. Really like this to resolve. What? Okay. That's that's not a card I've ever seen hit play before. I swear there's a lot of cantrips in this deck. Like, a whole lot. So I guess my opponent is just like Grixis Flash. Gonna be like Snapcaster Mages, Vendilion Clicks in here. I think I need to hold that land. Oh man, they just targeted the lightning bolt. Just going for my face. It's so rude. So the good news is that we're alive. The bad news is that I can't cast any cantrips, and two of... Alright. They're playing against this Grixis Flash deck. The blasts seem like they'll be pretty good. I think I ran into a case that game where my opponent just kind of had it all for me after I mulliganed too low. So I'm not going to get disheartened about that. I think Rip Energy Field is still a fine way to try and lock my opponent out. I think the core of my deck is good against the core of their deck. So I don't think I'm going to change too much. I do kind of want to Blood Moon them. Not going to lie. But I think I'm going to take out my things at 2-for-1 me in order to play other interaction. I almost want to Verdict to just sweep the field of those stupid Brineborn Cutthroats. And just, like, to have something that they can't say no to. I'm going to keep this hand. This hand gets way better if I draw a land. It gets way better if I draw a cantrip. It's just super awkward that my opponent is playing, presumably, a pile of spell snares. So rather than slam a Rest in Peace here, I think I'm just going to cast an Impulse on their turn. And then try to resolve a Rest in Peace on my turn. Sure, that's fine. That's the ideal. So now I should just resolve this Rest in Peace. I can have Fluster for Snare or whatever else they have. And presumably they shouldn't be able to answer my enchantment. Like, it's in play, that should just be that against Grixis colors. So I can just cast Energy Field with Fluster Storm back up this turn, but I think I'm just going to pass. I will Vendilion Click them on their end step, put them in that same position again, and then try to resolve Energy Field. Alright, we have just assembled Rest in Peace Energy Field. My opponent could still win with, like, a Jace Ultimate or something like that. I don't know if that's something they have access to or not. Seems like it. Yep. Alright, getting punished for not fetching Volcanic Island with one of my initial fetch lands. Drawing a fetch land for my turn would be pretty huge. Yeah, there we go. So do I want to play anything before this Pyroblast? I could play another Energy Field. No, I think I just want to Pyroblast the Jace. My Fluster Storm should beat whatever piece of interaction they have. They would need Force plus a second piece of interaction to beat me. so we'll play a redundant Rest in Peace. I don't think they can get rid of it, but I really don't want to be wrong. You know, for example, I don't know that they don't have a green splash in there for Renin 6. I don't think they do, but I don't want to be wrong. Yep, that's fine. Opponent's deck is all sorts of weird. I think it's actively bad making that attack, by the way. If I have a Snapcaster Mage, and I trade with that, I unlock my cantrips, which otherwise were safe. This Brainstorm will, sorry, this Ponder will presumably shuffle for the Brainstorm. Yep, that is exactly what happened. I guess I'll continue to make some land drops. I could use this to look, but I don't know that I need to. I don't think I'm in any hurry to win this game. I don't know. I obviously don't know what my opponent's deck composition is. They're not playing a established tiered deck by any stretch of the imagination. But I think I can just sit here, make land drops, try to invalidate a lot of their stuff. Rest in Peace even is going to be shutting off a lot of their counter spells. So like Drown in the Log, for example, is reliant on graveyard size. If I play this deck for the Legacy Premier League and a lot of matches go like this, boy, is it going to be a long night, even if it's just 3 matches. They will take their time. No, it's only the Notion Thief here that is making this take way longer than I otherwise might like. Otherwise, like the Ponder and Brainstorm would have either found me more cantrips to just keep going. Okay, so that's a card that can win me the game. I don't know that I want to cast it yet. I kind of like more protection for it. If my opponent rattles off a whole bunch of spells during their turn, though, I'd be pretty willing to just jam it. So like the Flusterstorm actually becomes a real counterspell. But I just don't think the Enlightened Tutor is very likely to resolve right now. Three, 6, 7 in hand. Yeah, that's fine. Like, until I'm at the point where I have to discard, I don't really feel like I have to play things out. Like, I'd rather play out another card than discard. Note, my opponent is continuing to cantrip, so decking them also just becomes a real out as well. Will I just jam that? I will just jam that. Oh, that resolved. Lightning bolt targeting my monkey boyfriend. Let's respond to that with an Enlightened Tutor. Alright, so this is Culligan's command. Deal 2 damage to the Mentor, and I presume I discard a card? Yes, I discard a card as the other mode. So I get to fluster and fight over something. So Mentor, Rest in Peace, Lightning Bolt, Enlightened Tutor, Culligan's command. Flusterstorm will counter something. I'm just not sure if I want to use it to protect the Enlightened Tutor or use it to protect the Monastery Mentor. This is really interesting. If I counter the Culligan's command, it also counters the Lightning Bolt, because Mentor will just survive the bolt. So I think I will bite and do that. What a stack. Sure, you can have your Brineborn Cutthroat. I do not have the mana to pay for that. Alright, so you get my Enlightened Tutor. But I have Mentor. It was a very unusual fight. So I could start rattling these cantrips off. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to, like, continue to grow the board a little bit every turn, and then go for lethal in one go. So I could cast 4 more spells. I don't think it's good to just run all of these off this turn, though. Let's play this patiently. Which is really what I've been doing the whole time. Nice. Hardcast Force of Will, that's fine. This Notion Thief is really annoying. It's possible that I should, like, cast a Ponder and just try to find something that can win me the game. But I think, like, patience and just letting this Mentor accrue value over time is just as good as anything else here. Impulse would be a sweet draw. Red Elemental Blast is also a very good draw. If I cast that and it resolves, I would probably just win. Like this turn. I don't know how likely it is to resolve right now. I think I'm going to continue to wait. It gives my opponent more time to find counterspells. But I can just also make the fight about something else and then trump the fight with Red Elemental Blast. I think I kind of want my opponent to blink first here. Why do I have to click these individually to put them on the stack? I've yielded to all of you. Yeah, you can Thoughtseize some of this stuff away. I don't care about it. So it'll be kind of unfortunate if they have another Notion Thief. But I'll accept that if it's the case. Alright, so I'm going to Ponder. Please. I don't know why these aren't auto-stacking. Nice. Um, so I kind of want to build my storm count up a bunch and then try to helm them. The thing is, though, like I can play helm around Spell Pierce right now. I do have 2 helms that I can win the game with, though. So maybe it's just correct to just go. All right, we have to do that again. So I know about Notion Thief now. That kind of makes me want to have Source of Plowshares a little bit more. That's the whole reason that that game drug on for so long. So I kind of want to cut a couple of cantrips to bring in a couple of Swords to Plowshares. And then call that good. It's possible that I should bring in Force of Will, but again, my opponent has more counterspells than me, so I kind of want to be the one jamming the threats. I also think Click is probably a little bit less good than I thought it was. It's somewhat likely to just get ambushed by that stupid thing. So I think I'm going to bring in a Moon. And honestly, maybe I should just have another Swords. Like, my opponent can't seem to pressure me all that well. Yeah, I'll definitely keep this. We're just going to grab a Plains with that. I'll pass the turn. In their upkeep, I will gladly Enlighten Tutor. I'll let them Spell Pierce that. Pave the way for some of the stuff later that's probably going to matter. Nope. Alright. I'll take a Rest in Peace. I don't think I will just play the Rest in Peace into that card, though. Not into that card like there's a specific one, but... Yeah, so if my opponent is fetching non-basics to start things off, it means the Blood Moon will be an I win card, relatively speaking. My opponent does have a few islands. But too many of my things I feel like are must answer. Alright, what do I want to play? If I play Blood Moon this turn, it's my only chance at resolving a Blood Moon. I also don't really want to play Blood Moon this turn. If my opponent can just fetch an island in response, I want to bait them into fetching something else first. I think I'm just going to pass the turn. And I'll brainstorm in my opponent's upkeep before they get to 4 mana for Notion Thief. This is a good set of cards. I think I'm going to put back Island, and I'll put Brainstorm on top. I think I'm going to keep Detention Sphere in case my opponent chases. Yeah, I think I'm going to put back Island Brainstorm. And I may or may not fetch. Alright. I think I will fetch. I'll fetch a Volcanic Island so that I can Impulse. I think it is too early to go for the Helm. Alright, so let's try to start a fight with... So I can try to start the fight with the Blood Moon, Flusterstorm whatever my opponent plays. Or I could start a fight with Rest in Peace. I like trying to double Rest in Peace, though. So let's try the first Rest in Peace. Yes. And I'll Fluster whatever this is. Alright, so now I've cut the graveyard off as a resource for my opponent unless they have Force of Will. Force pitch a Notion Thief, that's fine. So that thing is a 4/3 already. It is large. I can Detention Spirit if I need to. My current plan is to fetch an island and try to just jam the Blood Moon down my opponent's throat. I suppose I can Brainstorm before that, because I'm not going to be able to play this around Spell Pierce anyway. Super devastating if my opponent has another Notion Thief, though. Son of a gun. Alright, I think I'm all in on the combo actually working now. So I think I need to put back Blood Moon, Detention Sphere. No. No, I need to cast Rest in Peace, put Energy Field on top of my library to protect it from a discard spell, and then draw it next turn. Alright, opponent kind of had it all there. I don't think it's correct to just play around the second Ocean Thief. Like, that's usually a one of in these sorts of decks. Do I just draw the energy field to stay alive, or do I try to like go into Supreme Verdict? I think I have to draw the energy field to stay alive. Well, obviously super happy with my play given this situation. All right, that's sort of disappointing. We'll be back for the next round.